So, um, have you ever found yourself looking at a price tag, maybe $9.99, and feeling like, yeah, that's a good deal, even though, it's basically $10?
Oh, absolutely. It's not just you. That feeling is actually by design.
By design.
Yeah, it's part of what we call psychological pricing. It's a whole toolkit, really, of strategies aimed right at our perception of value. And what's really striking is the research. It consistently shows these techniques, well, they dramatically boost sales, often making us act against our own rational judgment.
Okay, I definitely want to unpack this. So
Yeah.
our mission for this deep dive is to sort of pull back the curtain on these pricing mind games.
Right.
Let's figure out why our brains seem so, I guess, predictably irrational with money, and, how even fancy luxury brands use their own version of this. That single penny, it seems to hold so much power.
It really does, and it flies in the face of classic economics, which tends to assume we're all perfectly rational shoppers,
Yeah.
weighing every single pro and con.
Yeah, that's not usually me in the checkout line.
Exactly. Psychological pricing kind of exposes that assumption. The big question is why? Why does that tiny cent make such a difference?
It almost sounds too simple, doesn't it? But you mentioned research.
Oh, the data is fascinating. Take the margarine miracle study from the University of Chicago.
Okay.
They dropped the price of margarine from 89 cents down to 71 cents. Sales jumped 65%. Pretty good, right?
Yeah, decent.
But then they dropped it just 2 cents more to 69 cents. Sales exploded. We're talking a 222% increase.
Whoa. Just for 2 cents.
Exactly. It's not logical math. It's our brain latching onto that first digit, the 6. It feels dramatically cheaper than the 7.
That's incredible. So it's all about that first number.
Largely, yes. That margarine miracle really shows its power, and it's not alone. There was another study back in '96 looking at women's clothing in mail-order catalogs.
Okay.
They found items ending in .99 consistently outsold identical items priced ending in .88, or just a round number, like .00.
By how much?
By about 8%. Again, those pennies just seem to have this outsized influence.
So it feels like magic, but it's actually psychology.
Mm-hmm.
What are the main tricks happening in our heads? What makes us fall for this?
Well, it boils down to a few key cognitive shortcuts. The first big one is left-digit bias.
Left-digit bias, okay.
Our brains, when we scan a price, we tend to anchor on that first digit on the left. So $9.99 feels significantly closer to $9 than $10.
Right, even though it's just 1 cent away from $10.
Exactly. It creates this sort of unconscious feeling of a better deal.
Okay, that makes sense. What else?
Then there's something called the right digit effect. This one's a bit more subtle. It affects how we perceive the size of a discount. A 2007 study showed, for example, a price drop from $222 down to $211 feels like a bigger saving than dropping from $199 to $188.
Wait, but both are $11 savings.
Precisely. But because our brain focuses on those rightmost digits changing 2 to 1 versus 9 to 8, the first one feels like a more substantial discount. It distorts our perception.
Wow, okay. That's sneaky.
And linking these together, there's also just subconscious associations. We've been trained, really? Over years and years, we've come to associate prices ending in .99 with sales, bargains, value. It's almost automatic.
And the opposite, like whole numbers.
Right. Whole numbers like $100 or $500 tend to signal quality, maybe luxury, exclusivity, no hint of a discount there.
So that brings us to the luxury brands. If .99 means bargain, how do they play this game? They don't usually do $499.99 handbags.
They do the exact opposite intentionally, that $500 price tag. It's a statement.
A statement of what?
Confidence, quality, exclusivity. It says, this isn't trying to be cheap, it's worth the full price. There was actually an Ohio State University study confirming this rounded prices make products feel more sophisticated.
So they use pricing to reinforce their high-end image.
Exactly. No .99 confusion.
But here's the really weird part, isn't it? A lot of us know these are tricks. We know $9.99 is basically $10, but it still works.
Ah, yes, that's the power of cognitive dissonance.
Explain that.
Okay, so your rational brain knows it's a marketing ploy, but another part of your brain wants the deal or wants to feel smart about the purchase. So to reduce that mental tension, that dissonance, your brain sort of rationalizes it. It tells itself, well, it is less than $10. It finds a way to justify the feeling, even if the logic is thin.
Like telling yourself you will start saving for retirement tomorrow.
Kind of, yeah. It's about reducing that uncomfortable mental conflict. We rewrite the logic slightly to feel better about our choices.
So when you boil it all down, what's the big takeaway here?
I think the main thing is realizing just how much our decisions, especially with money, aren't purely rational.
Right.
We're driven by these subconscious biases, these learned shortcuts, and this need to sort of resolve internal conflicts. Pricing isn't just math, it's powerful psychology.
So next time you're shopping, maybe pause at that $0.99 price tag. Just ask yourself, okay, wait, am I falling for this?
Yeah.
Think about it. A t-shirt for $19.99 or one for $20. Logically, it's a penny. But does one still feel like a better buy? That feeling, that's your brain on psychological pricing.
Absolutely. This deep dive really shows how tiny details, literally a single cent, can shift our whole perception and drive sales.
And knowing this, you could be a more conscious consumer. And for anyone running a business listening, think about using this ethically. Match your pricing to your brand, maybe round it for premium stuff. Be clear about discounts. Offer real value.
Good point.
So here's something to think about after this. As you go about your day, what other little psychological triggers, things that seem obvious, might actually be subtly shaping how you think or what you decide?